because this is a real money gambling. As an investor, private investor, that you don't put all your eggs into one basket. So maybe 2 million is not enough, but 2 million is already a good start. Before those levels, I think it's a waste of time.
Hi, we're here today again with Yevhen Krazhan, and we'd love to ask you, Yevhen, about starting as an operator. So you guys run in a platform, and basically you can serve as an infrastructure for any operator, and people are wondering, so, okay, we're good to go. What do we do?
First of all, thank you, Alex, for having us here, and I would be happy to explain the things that I know. Some of my answers may be too complex, so please pause me or rephrase if it's something very complex. But let me start. First of all, iGaming industry is very attractive for investors and for startups. And therefore, we take a bit of responsibility and commitment to actually educate and train and onboard our newly signed clients. My responsibility as sales is to bring more good leads that are interested in the new platform. First of all, we select the geos where we are more or less confident to bring as a business. And as we know, the iGaming platform is not just a casino or sportsbook. You have to onboard payments. You have to understand, players from the risk perspective. You need to be able to work with traffic, and you need to bring the CRM system to enable bonusing and gamifications. So the scope of the project seems to be quite large, but we try to keep it within 4-5 weeks of implementation. And the setup is starting from the basic introduction of the scope to the implementation team and actually having a kickoff with the client. And before the kickoff, we have a lot of discussions, what the clients are trying to achieve, what kind of platform they are used to or they're looking for, and what kind of experience they already have. Do they have the operational team? Where actually they have operated? Do they have enough investment for the particular market? So there's a little bit of qualification. So we collect a lot of business requirements before we actually start a project. But the start of a project is already a technical piece. And I think we are spending something like a couple of weeks to make a full technical setup.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the first couple of weeks, we're starting the business setup. This is where we activate all the content on the platform, including casino and sports. We're setting up all the bonusing and gamification tools. We basically mark all the traffic in the affiliate platform and all the reporting so that the actual operating team can start operating from day one. There is also the soft launch period where the client is running the UAT tests and basically accepting what has been set up. And I think for us and for all small clients, this is a very sensitive piece. When the client is realizing that there will be no platform provider, maybe within the next couple of weeks, and if I don't ask these questions right now, if I don't understand something, this is the right time. And this is where we feel sometimes a lot of hiccups or a little bit of issues of uncertainties and unconfidence or lack of confidence from the newly established operators. They are overwhelmed by the number of features, by the sophistication of the platform, that sometimes that period could be extended, the onboarding part, because they need that type of, as we call, babysitter from the platform that will actually explain, stay with them and bring more confidence in what they do on their own. We as a platform provider do not provide customer support. We just provide the tools, but the actual team needs to be onboarded. My recommendation that it's at least 5 people that should be in place: the marketing person, the payments person, the bonusing person, and a couple of support staff that will be doing the chat, live chat with clients. This is the bare minimum for you to be able to run the operations. And of course, there should be a manager, the operational manager or general manager of this project, that will understand everything in detail and be able to manage team, to replace team, to maybe rotate some people. So this is in essence a structure of a project that we normally run for our clients if they're willing to buy a platform. iframe or only sportsbook is a little bit different. We can discuss that too.
And you guys take care of the rest. I mean, by the rest, I mean technical support, maintenance of the all the modules, um, trading, content provision.
Correct.
What else is there that I just want to? I want our viewers to understand what a huge amount of work is standing behind running a platform, what it means.
Yeah.
Because many people are probably thinking, yeah, why don't we build our own thing? Oh,
We see that quite often. But you're right. I think we should maybe step back a little bit and explain that this is a software as a service type of product. So we're not actually selling you a license, or we're not actually selling you a source code. We're just giving you the right to use the software. And the software is, as you know, very familiar to many, is a cloud software. So it's hosted on AWS servers. So it's basically a cloud infrastructure. So as part of the monthly payments, either minimal fees or rev share, that infrastructure, including the support and maintenance, is already included. So in essence, we use the two terms that are very widely spread in this industry is the white label or the turnkey. So we set up a system to the extent that it's actually like a turnkey. You just, ignite it and it runs. So to that state, we are setting up a system so the client will just have only left to collect incidents from clients or some kind of requests from players, but all the technical maintenance, all the technical support is done by us as a provider. So in reality, if we speak at just starting a business within 3-4 weeks of a project with a very small investment, I think this makes this industry very unique and very attractive. Your threshold of investment is very low. Your main investment, I would say, as a startup, would be the purchase of traffic, either affiliation traffic or direct traffic from internet, where you want to basically source your players. But the platform, you don't have to invest a lot. There's a very symbolic setup fee that we actually need to see your commitment as a client. But then all the other payments into the payment or platform provider are coming from your revenues that you made with the players. So in that sense, it's a very easy to enter industry.
okay. So you've mentioned traffic. So as a beginner operator, you need to know where you're going to be getting your traffic from.
Right.
And secondly, you need to have like a minimum team. Are there any technical requirements? You mentioned that there is like a setup period, technical setup period. What is happening in this period? I'm guessing that a new brand will have a different front end from others.
Absolutely. So the front end is the piece where your differentiation and your uniqueness and your marketing creativity will have to come into play. You need to have some kind of brand and domain that, with all the coloring schemes, all the marketing different elements, that we will want to collect from you, because the domain is your unique ownership and property, just like your branding or your styles. This is what we would need to collect from you as a client. So you will give us in the form of a brand book or some basic style guides. And our front end is very customizable and very adjustable. So within the week or two, that front end will look like your unique one. Black colors, white colors, all the fancy things. In our technical terms, it's widget based. So it's more like the movable elements.
Mm-hmm.
So you can change from the back office. You don't need to have our code experts or developers. It's just configurable elements that you will be able to do from the back office. And this is exactly why we need the marketing expert who we will train just to use the back office and use all the tools that are coming from the back office. So you're right. Customizing the front end. So the website is actually appealing to clients and will look like what you basically designed by yourself, is a very important piece of setup.
Does the platform then help managers manage players somehow?
Exactly. Which is the live chat mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Call centers are not very popular these days. We are providing live chat that the customer support team or the player support team will have to kind of understand and master. All the information is stored in the back office, so back office is accessible. We are setting up access rights for the players, for the actual customer support team, but they will have all the functionality available, and we will need a couple of hours for onboarding and training. We're by default providing them access to knowledge base, where this support staff will be able to learn and understand all the features and of course master different elements of the platform. But if there are incidents that are happening about failure, we haven't seen that a lot, or something not accessible or something that the support staff is not able to manage, then they will file a ticket with our back office, with the B2B back office, and we'll try to resolve it within 24 hours.
Eugene, I remember from our previous conversations you mentioned that converting traffic from traffic into players is one of the biggest challenges in iGaming. How does the platform assist its operators in this?
Yes, you're right. This is by far one of the most important elements towards financially paying back investments, not just entertaining some kinds of gameplays. So every operational manager would want to know the metric, which we call DEP, reg to DEP, or registration to deposit, which is by far is the key metric that every operator needs to know, and basically they want to track it on a daily or hourly or by second basis. And the way we let our operators manage that is by providing the Tableau BI tools, which is the reporting and analytic tool that is coming by default with 3 licenses as a basic package, where we already have something like 200 different reports preset, where you will in real time be able to track what players are coming from the market, from the affiliate networks and from different sources. And then you will be able to see which sources are performing good, which sources are not performing good, which affiliate partners are performing good, and which are not performing good. So there are some benchmarks for conversions in specific markets, and some industry experts do believe that even some platforms perform differently. To our knowledge, it's a combination of different factors, including the payment capabilities that you set up for your operators, including the PSPs or different payment methods. So in reality, we are trying to set the best possible alternatives for conversions from the get-go, from the initial setup. This is our initial objective, is to set up not only the system that works okay, but the system that can convert a registered player into the first deposit. Because this is the real money gambling. You need to have money on your accounts.
Speaking of money, to get them into your accounts, you need a payment system. Payment systems come in all kinds of forms and including cryptocurrency. I assume you're good with all the regular ones. What about crypto? Can your players deposit in crypto?
Yes, I would like to say that we are not providing all the payment methods to a client. We are using our payment gateway as an orchestration tool and actually activate only those payment methods and only those payment providers that the client is interested in. For instance, if a client is coming with the source of only crypto players that we know will have their crypto wallets already enabled, so maybe we will need more focus on the crypto methods, crypto top-up methods. And we have, as far as I am not mistaken, we have 10 plus different PSPs that are specializing only on crypto recharges and crypto payments. And every crypto provider, crypto payments provider, is basically a global provider. They're not very regionalized, unlike some of the local currencies. Like, for instance, in Brazil, you have local currency. For instance, in Canada, you have local currency. US dollar maybe, and as in Europe, it is a little bit universal. But crypto, either stable coins or cryptocurrencies, are a universal right now payment methods. And with having, a very good integration with crypto enablement, such as wallets, we basically provide a very simple, seamless, I would say, integration with the crypto payments.
How popular are they? Are they like 10% of total payments?
This is what I was thinking also, that cryptos are not that popular. But in reality, I think crypto is now going to close to 50% of what players are capable to top up or recharge their balances or deposit. So if I were you, for instance, the operators, I will definitely be, integrating one or two payment providers that are enabling crypto top-ups. So if your registration form or the top-up form doesn't contain all the crypto methods, I would say that would be probably be one of the elements why I would not like to stay with you as a player. So I would balance, probably 50% of focus would be into local currencies and 50% would be into these global crypto things. And that adoption is very kind of running full speed.
That's impressive. Yeah, how tables have turned. I thought it would never be like this. So while I'm as an operator, while I'm running my operations, there are things that I want to adjust on the go. I want to probably gather some analytics and I want to optimize it somehow. Do you guys offer any tools for that?
Well, as I was saying, we offer quite a powerful, tool set for BIs and analytics. By the way, we also enable AI, which is artificial intelligence and recommendation tools, so that your players are always getting what they're used to and a set of recommendations. I think that does not need any specific human touch because it's originally invented as more or less BI, not BI, but AI, such as artificial and machine learning stuff. So that will keep your system a little bit fresh, but very contextually correct. But when it comes to a more advanced levels of operations, and we have a few clients that have operated more than 2, 3, 4 years, definitely there is always a line of different change requests, different inquiries about how that is done. Some of our experienced operators even want to, for instance, build their own front end and just want to keep our API infrastructure, just to build, for instance, the light front end for a specific geo. That is also a capability. So the discussion with more advanced operators is always a little bit more complex. For instance, one of our potential clients is looking for a specific third-party anti-fraud tool that they're very much familiar with. So right now we're in discussion trying to compare, is our tool going to be as good as the third party? Because every third-party integration into the platform is going to be, time-taking and complex in terms of maintaining that integration. So we have quite a, extensive portfolio and suite of different things that we offer, from the shelf. So definitely starting a business with us. And as I was saying, we never came as a startup into this industry. We have more than 20 years of operating, and our system was initially built just because we have experience and we know how to operate, and we were including all the best practices from the operational background and legacy, just to be coming into the B2B well prepared and more or less confident that this will work.
So you're helping your operators adopt their brand, their visual, then help them adopt the preferences of their users. It actually automatically learns what users like and suggests them what they may like Spotify or other streaming platforms. I get it. And it offers customization of all kinds of things. I know that regulations is a big part of the industry, and probably different operators operating in different industries need to adopt to these limitations as well. Do you offer something in this regard?
Yes, I think this industry is always licensed. We're not dealing with unlicensed operators that are called black.
Mm-hmm.
We only deal with either offshore licenses or onshore local licenses. So whenever we are bringing either sportsbook or casino, we have to understand this and qualify a client whether they have a license or they will need a license from us. Because we are also providing licensing, which is a white label setup, from us as providers. And I think any license setup will require understanding what is the local kind of regulatory requirement. Do we need to share reports? Do we need to insert some kind of limitations? Do we need to customize the platform towards that local or offshore setup? And there are different licenses. For instance, Maltese MGA license is a little bit more complex than Curacao. And Anjouan is a little bit, I think, less sophisticated than Curacao license. But any of those licenses require a very complex compliance process and understanding how product is going to operate differently in line with these different regulatory requirements.
Okay, so licenses and regulatory compliance, yes. Adopting to players' needs, yes. Um, adopting to the brand of an operator, yes. Providing all the support, taking care of all the technical stuff, yes. Fraud protection. That's
risk
another huge
management
thing.
and fraud, anti-fraud. We have an extensive team. I think somewhere close to 25 people. This is only general anti-fraud and risk management. But in sports, we also use a lot of trading team to actually make sure we're not running into issues. So for us, risk management and anti-fraud is a managed service that we provide to clients. And there are different levels of things that we provide. It could be only reports or preset mechanisms or models, but there could be also an operational team that if you want to have a fully kind of protected 24/7 team, we offer that as a service for sophisticated guys that have not yet built their own risk management team, and they would want to rely on our expertise and actually learn from us, so that within a year or maybe 6 months, they will be able to take over this function by themselves completely and keep it in-house. So risk management and anti-fraud, our recommendation for any project is to start with our managed service and then with time to slowly build that competence in-house.
What about responsible gaming tools? Is that a thing?
That could be a very sophisticated thing, but we already have a lot of things to offer in terms of limitations. And I think I was mentioning it in one of our interviews, is that responsible gambling is basically about the limitations. How you limit your players, not to let them go into the extremes.
Mm-hmm.
And this could be time limitations, could be games limitations, could be money limitations, all kinds of limitations. And in our back office, you can see maybe just booking a little bit of time for a demo. That limitations are already available from off the shelf. But if there is a need to bring a third-party tools or adjust something towards specific local regulations, we can discuss different options. But I would say somewhere 70% is already available.
If I'm an operator and I'm hearing all this and I love it, what do I need to do to start?
Well, if you have decided, for instance, you are a startup, if you have decided to have a project, you have some money in your accounts.
Some money.
2
million.
2 million could be good enough for small scale operations. For bigger geographies, such as maybe Brazil or India, you will need a little bit more. And we can discuss that, in a confidentiality setup, having signed NDA. But my recommendation, if you have some money secured, if you want to invest, come to us, share what your thoughts are. I would say that there is some kind of experience already there. Either you have seen it or somebody has done it. You are basically bringing that experience from somewhere. You cannot be just an outsider coming with no experience. Somebody has told you that it's a good money making machine. Come to us. We'll give you a lot more to discuss with us. We'll give you all the details about what it is going to be. We can even build a business case with you, which is basically a financial projection. We'll tell you all the costs that are going to be associated, all the surprises. We will project your revenues. We will project your paybacks. We will project your break-even points. And then you will decide whether you want this project or not. But my recommendation, at least talk to 1 or 2 or 3 providers. And all of them, I believe, I will be confidently saying they will be all different. But this is where the selection needs to be confident and I would say sober. You have to make this kind of choice and selection very kind of objectively. And this is probably going to be the toughest choice of your next couple of years. If you want to risk and this is a high risk business, congratulations. You have to understand what the risks are. Some things will never work. For instance, in our 10 years of history of operations, I would say 10 out of 100 projects have really become strong and successful. So you have to be prepared as an investment manager or as an investor, private investor, that you don't put all your eggs into one basket. So you need, probably if you have 2 million, you will have to understand that I don't want to spend all the 2 million at once. So maybe 2 million is not enough. But 2 million is already a good start for me to understand how much I want to lose, for me to learn if this is mine, if this is my business. But believe me, there will be no miracle. If you don't want to spend any time, if you don't want to kind of entertain, if you don't like this industry, just put the money into bank deposit and just be safely, happily there. But if you are going to kind of invest and learn, you will love this industry. This industry will make you rich. This industry will make you happy. It will be, a lot of new meetings and a lot of, fun around, this industry. This is wonderful, live and kicking sector.
I bet so many people who are listening to this right now thinking, 2 million, why don't I just take this 2 million and build my own platform? Why not?
Well, first of all, 2 million is not such a big money these days. I think our estimates of how much time we have put and how many years we have put and how many man hours of people we have put in building a platform that actually works, that is actually easy to change, things are traceable. I would say it's roughly 5 years of 1,000 people. So you can calculate the headcount cost that those people have probably were worth. It's nowhere near 2 million. And we have seen probably up to 20 platforms in this industry that are worth that much money. And I would say another 150 platforms are very much new, very fresh, very maybe raw, somewhere at the inception stage or maybe just, trial and error stage. So for you guys, it's really important to distinguish, do you want to risk your kind of operations with the startups, platform startups, or you want to basically rely on experienced, professional, highly established organizations that know their way around.
But still, for those who are like super confident and believe like, okay, I have enough funds, I'm willing to take this risk, I'm willing to give this a try, I have a product officer who is very confident he or she can build a better platform than all of these guys have in the market. What is awaiting them on this path?
Well, first of all, building a team, I would say any operator that has reached 20 million of monthly GGR, I would say 10 plus, would want to have an own system. Own my kind of in-house built system. And I do agree that at this level of volumes and revenues, you can afford having your own system, on-premise, in-house system. Before that level, it doesn't make economically any sense because the waste of time would be dramatic. So I would say any company that can allocate out of that 10 plus million a month, allocate 20% of all the profits that they make into a system, I think it makes a lot of sense to build a system for your own kind of promises, for your own differentiators, for your own team. And of course, but you need to spend 5-6 years to become that big, that huge, and that successful. Before those levels, I think it's a waste of time. Honestly, bluntly, it's a waste of time, waste of money. If somebody is trying to convince an investor that I will build it, probably they will build it, but they will build probably 10%,
and then give up.
Why? Probably the development team will be fully kind of entertained and paid for a year or so. But then by the end of the first year, you will be very frustrated. But by the fact that not everything is there, maybe PAM, player account management, is built with a very kind of basic feature set, which competition-wise will not be ready for any B2B packaging. But maybe it will be okay for your own basic operations. But I think, it's counterintuitive to build your own little platform if you can get on the rev share basis a huge, sophisticated, stable platform that, dozens and hundreds of operators have already experienced.
I'm wondering what these other providers who are offering like super cheap options, what are they expecting? Like, are they like trying to make living off people who are not willing to go far, or like how does that work? Because from my conversations with you and people in the industry in general, I know it's a commitment. It's not a joke. It's not something that you do out of like boredom. You go like, yeah, I'm just gonna try this. It's a commitment. You need to learn about the industry. You need to commit with your time, effort, focus, and money. And then at the same time, I see different providers who tell me I can put in 2,000, 5,000 bucks a month and like start making a fortune within 3 months or 6 months. Why? Where is this coming from? What are these promises? Who are they aiming at?
Well, I may agree that maybe building a basic casino platform is okay. I think the first element of MVP you may have having spent maybe 200,000. Again, will be a very basic casino thing. Because in casino, all your casino content, like the slots and roulettes or live casino, are coming as iframes from providers. So the actual pressure on the gaming platform is not so hard. So you need to build basically a back office and the actual betting system, which is basically gambling, and integrate the third party. So in that architecture, if this is what guys are saying, I can build that, probably they can build it. It's not such a sophisticated thing. But when I hear that building sports betting system or sports betting platform is as easy as this, I would completely disagree. I have seen basically all of the top 5 providers, iGaming providers, having talks with us to buy our platform, our sports betting platform, in the last 2-3 years. Not because it's so affordable and so cheap, just because, it has failed so many times to build a sports betting platform. Fully made, because I think the essence of a sports betting platform is not only the odds, to place different odds. This is also the resulting platform. This is also the video streaming platform. This is the widgets. This is the bet builders. This is trying to keep the latency as short as possible. We actually, by the way, never talked about latencies, but achieving latencies, you need to have your own trading team. So the platform without the trading team probably makes very little sense. If you are providing odds that are very much delayed and the latency is more than 6 seconds, maybe more than 12 seconds or even 30 seconds, you will be actually putting all your clients, all your operators under big risk of players either cheating you or you are just being kind of left in losses. So this is exactly what we want to avoid with our players and with our clients. So everything is as transparent and as real-time as possible. And building real-time stuff is very expensive exercise.
Speaking of downtime, we haven't spoken of this, and I bet this is a very big part. So, like, if I go with a particular provider, and what are the offerings? What are the promises of no downtime?
I would say that most of established platforms provide in reality, the SLA could be different, but they provide in reality close to 100% uptime, or basically zero downtime, reversely. And this is because we are all, I think, have initially agreed that AWS, which is Amazon Web Services, would be the underlying technical infrastructure. I think the biggest challenge right now is to provide the load times for your website to be below 5 seconds. This could be a challenge, especially with lower internet speeds. But the uptime, I would say, in our system, it has been almost 100% for the last 3 years. So this is not a place of some kind of concern or risk or challenge. I think this is the industry more or less highest standard of 100% availability. If there is any kind of disruption in the specific element, immediately the incident system will kick in. Some systems, and actually ourselves and peers, are providing the real-time availability monitors on their websites, and you're welcome to check that out. I don't know to what extent this is actually providing the real-time true kind of statistics on availability, but I would say availability is not a problem.
Got it.
Again, the problem is to ensure that your front end is loading fast.
I see.
For instance, if we are keeping our main infrastructure point or CDN in Europe, it will be providing delays in Asia. If the CDN points are in the US, it will be good for the US, but it will not be good in Europe. So any global provider, like us or the Big Four or Big Five, will have to slowly, gradually build their CDN networks in all time zones to really ensure that the fast loading speed times. Because, we are competing for these milliseconds of latencies, not even seconds, but milliseconds. And this is where the competition is going to be. Again, going back to players, they don't want to wait. They hate to wait. They want instant gratification. And look at yourself. If you wait for a website to load 8 seconds, who will keep it kind of in your memory? They will completely erase it and find something else.
2 seconds max.
Correct.
And I'm gone.
Go on.
Yeah. So if people listening or watching this video, if they have any questions, can they just come to you, or where can they reach you?
I think it's easy to find us. It's a great tech, GR8 Tech.
Yeah.
This is our website. On the website, you will find a few forms where you can actually leave your name, leave your phone number or email or Telegram ID, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. If it's business hours, probably within 30 minutes or so, somebody will be pinging you. But I think the best place for us to meet up, would be a trade show or conference. We actually run all the global ones. You will have wonderful time with us. We'll enjoy all the, socialize, and we'll share you all the stories and all the jokes that we can. And we'll give you a little bit of inside stories as well about how it's actually, what are the recommendations. And maybe you will see some live operators that have already been operating on our system. Who knows? That will be the best probably time to actually have a full, end-to-end experience with us before you actually finalize your decision.
Sounds like a plan. I guess I'll see you there then.
See you there. And guys, you're welcome to come. It's just around the corner. We'll be happy to see you there.
Thank you.